MAGA comes to talk. And man, oh man, we got a lot to talk about today. I mean, Obama just got busted. There's just no getting around it. Obama got busted. He is in a panic. And because he's in a panic, he's doing stupid stuff and making mistakes, Obama. And that's what happened yesterday. So we're going to cover all of the events of yesterday. Because Obama and his co-conspirators are very worried. They're very, very worried. And, you know, the reason they're worried is because they're bad guys. I mean, they're just bad guys. And they did some bad things. And they got caught. They did some bad things. Yep, that's right. Just checking the sound. Oh, yeah. Pure evil. No getting around that. Pure evil. Just pure evil. That's it. And you can tell by Obama's panicked reaction that he is very worried. He is very, very worried because he's been doing crime. I mean, let's face it, all right? He's been doing crime. Okay. Yeah, I'm still setting up. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, all right? Athens, Georgia. Welcome. If you're new to the program, make sure that you subscribe. I'm getting some sound bites together still. Okay. We're going to start by okay. All right. I'm just queuing up some things that I want to be talking about. I mean, they are in You look at what Obama did yesterday. Obama is in complete freak out mode. There's just no getting around it. He is in complete freak out mode. Okay. And he's got good reason, because he got caught. That's the big secret. Obama got caught. And you're talking about a guy with Obama that's gone through his whole life. Hey, what's up? That's Haku. Hey, Haku, what's up, buddy? What do you want? Show me. What do you want, Haku? Where are you taking me? Oh, okay. Not a problem. All right. These cats are smart, man. They talk. They talk and tell me what they want, and he just did. Now he wanted something. He wanted something. Cats are very smart, man. They are very smart. Cats don't very often meow at each other, just their mommies, because they only meow when they want something. They don't want anything from other cats. They want things from people. But yeah, Obama messed up. With Obama, you're dealing with a guy who's never heard the word no, who's gotten everything he's wanted his entire life, and he's got some accountability for the first time ever, and he's not handling it well. No, we will be taking calls, and whether you agree or disagree, I got a lot to go through on the program today, too. A lot. The presidential immunity doesn't mean they're James Bond and have a license to kill. Presidential immunity covers them for actions that they take under their lawful duties as president. The example I give is if they order a missile strike on terrorists and it takes out a whole village of civilians. They can't be charged with murder or manslaughter or sued for wrongful death, those kind of things, or civil property, lawsuits. But if what he was doing was not in the official act as president, what he was doing was something illegal. Something very, very illegal. That's right. So, plus they arrested Trump 3 times. Bragg in New York, Fannie with Fulton County, and then in Miami with the break-in of Mar-a-Lago. I didn't hear these people talking about presidential immunity then. Did you? No. Because that's just not the way it works. I know that's how they would like it to work, but that's not how it works. I've got a new sponsor joining, if not this week, next week. Just putting together some information on that. I got so much. There's so much work to do. The 3 hours on the air are the easy part of this. Welcome. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll be live on the air in about 10 minutes is when the show starts. It's a little bit of the pre-show. And if you're new, I'll be starting my other live stream as I go on the air a few minutes after the top of the hour. And on that stream, You get to hear and see the audio sound bites and the videos I play, the articles that I go over. On this stream with the green screen, you get to see me and hear me, and the callers. You get to hear the callers as they call in, but you won't hear the sound bites or the videos on this stream. You have to watch the other stream for that. Our ancestors be turning over in their graves over what, David? You know, it's just so crazy to me. You know, I'll take a call early. What the heck? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Derek. I'm calling from Pittsburgh.
Hey, Derek. What's up?
Hey, I was just calling because it seems like this is the only show that has some actual traction to it compared to all the other Kamala and Democrat and Trump-hating type shows that have been going on. But I just want to talk real quick because no one seems to be getting the issues right. And I think that we are easy to blame Trump for a lot of stuff, but a lot of people don't see that a lot of the tariffs and stuff are negotiating tools. He's trying to get the other countries to back the United States dollar because the dollar's going to shit right now.
Yeah, they want to. They want, he just made this big deal with Japan. He got Japan to lower their tariffs on our goods. So I mean, it's exactly right. And they've been pushing to get the dollar. A lot of liberals don't know this. Okay, the dollar is the international currency, and there's been a big push by the globalists to get the world off of the dollar as the gold standard of international monetary use. You're exactly right, caller. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, in all seriousness, too, all this, hate for Trump, it's all a distraction. You know what I mean? They're trying to do things behind the scenes. And Elon, I think he's trying to backdoor the Democrats, to be honest with you. I think he's like, okay, if Trump loses and the Republicans lose, then I need to get on a different train to try to still work for the betterment of the country. Mm-hmm. So I think it was all a tactic, really, in all seriousness. I think a lot of it's tactics, and, they're too dumb to see it. He's trolling them.
Yeah.
They're right to their face. It's like, okay, well, you guys aren't objective enough to see two sides of the coin. You're only looking at the bad, which is what everybody remembers anyway.
That's right.
But, I mean, Trump, he's a billionaire. He don't need to run the country. He don't need more money. When they go up there and they say, oh, he's doing it for him, he's doing it for money, Elon's doing it for money. Elon's one of the richest guys in the world. What the hell does he need money for?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's all backwards. I'm like, you guys ain't putting logic to it.
No, you're right. No, you make a lot of sense. You're new to my program?
Yeah, I'll subscribe for sure.
Yeah. When'd you find me? Just this morning?
Yeah, I was scrolling and then I came across some other fellow that was talking about bootlicking Trump or something like that, and I'm like, this guy's an idiot. I tried bringing up some good points on there, and he's like, he just want to talk about the chat. Oh, well, you guys are just hating on me for not liking Trump, and it's like, dude, why don't you get to the politics? If you have a politics show, then have an actual discussion, have an educated discussion, bring viewpoints up.
That's right.
Don't just try to bury it like, oh, well, all you guys that love Trump, he's a molesting whatever, it's like, come on, bro. You're talking about him spewing hate, but that's all you're doing.
Yeah, that's right. Well, hey, listen, welcome to the program, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate you taking my call, man.
All right, take care. All right, now this is the pre-show. We'll be live on the air in about 5 minutes. Take another call, though. What the heck? Oh. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
You're on the air? What's your name?
You're on the air.
Jose Martinez from Mexico.
Yeah? That's it?
Hello?
Yeah?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, but I got to run. Thanks for calling, though. Okay? Take care. Adios. Oh, my goodness. Insane. Give Jose, please. You got to have something to say, right? We'll be live in about 4 minutes. Yep, exactly 4 minutes. We'll be live. Then I'll start the other stream. Now those of you that are new, I'm on a whole bunch of radio stations. I host a morning drive show on a bunch of FM radio stations, and the show goes live at the top of the hour. And I keep this feed going with the green screen, which is kind of like a behind-the-scenes stream. And then I start my main stream right before I go live on the radio. And on that stream, you get to see the videos and hear the audio sound bites and everything that I play. On this stream, you get to hear me, see me, and hear the callers. But if you want to hear the audio sound bites, you'll have to go to my other stream, which I'll start in about 3 minutes. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're just past 6 a.m., so I can't take any calls until the show starts on the air, just in case they mistakenly put us on the air. Welcome, everyone. Yes, if you're new, make sure that you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. But it's just, Obama just really freaked out and panicked yesterday. He just panicked. Completely panicked. That's right, MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. I'm talking to Mike, the board up at the station. We'll be live in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm not going to the radio station this week. I'll probably go next week. One or 2 days next week. But I'm in my studio this week all week, which is nice. The radio station's about an hour from my house, so it saves me so much time and, oh man, and a lot of money in gas. Okay, just over a minute to go. Boy, oh boy. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll take some calls and everything else in just a bit. About 30 seconds and we'll be live. A proud socialist, that means you're a bum with no money. It's like a lot of poor people claim to be minimalist, but they're just losers. All right, stand by. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. And if you're on hold, stand by. We have so much to talk about. President Trump had an epic, historic press conference in the Oval Office yesterday, and he talked about the treason that Obama committed. We're going to talk about all of this, and what he did after that is Barack Obama is terrified right now. He went into a complete panic attack yesterday, Obama, and did some things that only guilty people do, and we're going to cover all of that. And I must tell you, it's crazy. Here we are. I can't believe it's Wednesday already. The week is flying by, July 23rd, but it's 2025. Barack Obama has not been president for a long, long time. And I really thought the days of talking about Obama were over. I thought the days, unless there was like some stupid thing happened in the news, we might mention it. But I never thought we'd be talking at great length about Barack Obama ever again on the program. And we haven't talked about Barack Obama for many, many years in the context of being a player. And I've kind of liked that because I don't like Obama. I didn't vote for Obama. He's a terrible person. And those were some just awful 8 years of his presidency. But now here we are, 2 days in a row, and this is just the beginning of talking about Barack Obama. And when President Trump yesterday said that Barack Obama committed treason, he was the ringleader, he was leading the whole thing, and he went on at great length multiple times during his press conference with the Filipino president, which I had no idea was the child of the former Philippine president, whose wife had the shoe issue, the Marcoses. I had no idea. Remember Imelda Marcos and all those shoes? I had no idea that he was the president. I thought he looked familiar. When I saw him up there, I was like, hey, he kind of looks like the other. And sure enough, he is. But anyway, after that press conference, President Trump went, he just set Obama off into a panic. And I'm going to play all the audio of this. We'll break it down throughout the program this morning. But Obama, he came out and released a statement about the charges being made against him by Tulsi Gabbard and the president. And then he unleashed a desperate, pathetic attempt at a psyop against President Trump. And so President Trump, this is just a quick timeline. We'll get into the details of everything that was said during the course of the conversation. But what happened yesterday afternoon was just insane. First, we have this great press conference in the Oval Office. President Trump calls Obama out as having committed treason, was the leader of this treasonous plot. Then when that's over, within an hour or two, Obama responded, which he never does. He responded because he was in such a panic, which makes him look incredibly guilty, which we know he is because we have the documents that Tulsi Gabbard has declassified. And then as I'm going to bed last night, I go to bed much earlier than most of you all, I'm sure, but as I'm going to bed, social media starts exploding with photographs of celebrity events like a New York Fashion Week runway show that President Trump was at with Melania and Epstein was there. All these pictures and videos of Trump at events where Epstein was start popping up. So that's Obama unleashing the psyop to try to get a distraction going with Trump about Epstein, which is another sign of desperation. And here's the thing about Obama's panic. I'm a big fan of true crime. You know, like I watch the local news on television and I look at the local newspapers because I like true crime. And I like ID. I subscribe to the Discovery app because you got ID, and I love all these true crime shows. And one of my favorites is when they're doing the interrogations and you see the videos of the real interrogations that detectives are doing. And I've seen more than one detective say this. They say we go into these interrogation rooms, we know nothing sometimes. We have no evidence, we know nothing. But the criminals, because they're in a panic because they know what they did and they're being questioned by police, they think we know everything. And that causes them to freak out and start slipping. And no matter what, because criminals get in this anxiety state when they're caught, thinking that we know everything, that's when they start giving us clues and evidence. Well, that's what Obama did yesterday. Between his statement and the psyop, desperate, pathetic attempt of these videos and photographs of Trump at Fashion Week, and Epstein was there and all this stuff. Yeah, Epstein was a creepy guy, no doubt about it. He did what he did, and it's god-awful what he did to people. But he was a rich guy who loved to be around celebrities, and he bought his way into celebrity circles. A lot of people do that, and that's what he did. But this is great stuff. This is great stuff. And President Trump was praising the great Tulsi Gabbard yesterday in the Oval Office, too. And I want to share one thing with Tulsi Gabbard, then we'll take our first break of the day, and then we'll come back from the break and take your calls. So if you're on hold, hang in there. Our toll-free number, no matter where you're listening to us, is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you're tuned in from. So they've got this pathetic attempt of a talking point. Well, Tulsi Gabbard was wrong about Iran having a nuclear weapon. She's testified in Congress. No, she was not wrong. And I want to go through what happened with Tulsi Gabbard, okay? Now, this information that Tulsi Gabbard declassified, which was at a level higher than secret, like ultra secret or something, it was classified at a level above top secret. And she declassified all this stuff. All these bad guys have known for a while this was coming out because they still have people in the bureaucracy that leak everything to them. And if you remember, President Trump was asked this question. Well, Tulsi Gabbard, remember this? It was on the tarmac. They asked him a couple times. Your director of national intelligence says they don't have a nuclear weapon, you know, as the bombing was coming. And Trump said, she's wrong, they're wrong. He said that a couple times. That was a planted question because Tulsi never said what they alleged, but they knew this was coming out. So they got one of their minions in the media to come out and make this statement and ask this question to President Trump to do a preemptive discrediting attempt. So after the first break, I'll share with you what Tulsi Gabbard said. It's not what they want you to think she said. She is incredibly brave. She's taking on some of the most dangerous people in America, taking on this Obama coup conspiracy group. She's a former Democrat who was red-pilled and became an independent. She's a lifelong Democrat who was red-pilled and became an independent. She was a Democrat member of Congress not that long ago. So not only does she have the normal dangers that somebody taking these coup conspirators on would have, they view her as a traitor because she was a Democrat. She's also a native Hawaiian. You guys should have more respect for our indigenous people. She's a native Hawaiian. Obama says he's from Hawaii, right? So they view her as another traitor there, betraying a fellow Hawaiian. So she's taking great risk. And that needs to be pointed out because she is a very brave woman who deserves the respect of every American. So we're going to take our first break, and when we get back, I'll take calls and share with you what Tulsi Gabbard really said. But now there's no better time to upgrade your sleep, and that, of course, is with My Pillow. You know, right now, the great Mike Lindell, who's been a supporter of this program for many years at MyPillow.com, is giving our listeners huge discounts and savings across his entire site with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. And I mean everything, including the incredible 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper that I sleep on every night. Turns your whole bed into a big MyPillow, and it has that temperature-regulating cover on it, which keeps you cool and comfortable during these hot summer months, warm and toasty during the winter. I've been sleeping on my 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, my wife and I, for years. Huge discounts on Mike Lindell's 100% Giza cotton dream sheets, which my wife and I have been sleeping with for years. The MyPillow towels, huge discounts, which, you know, every day I dry off with my MyPillow towels. even the slippers, which I have 2 pairs of. Steve Kane has the slippers. Just incredible discounts site-wide. Everything's made right here in the USA, backed by a 10-year warranty, a 60-day money-back guarantee. It's amazing. Go right now to mypillow.com. Find what you love, because our promo code Kane is good site-wide at mypillow.com, and unlock the biggest savings you've ever seen, as much as 66% off, as much as I'm all choked up. Mike Lindell's given such a great discount to our listeners. You can save up to 66% off on top My Pillow products. So go to mypillow.com, use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, for these huge savings. You'll sleep better, you're going to save big, and you're supporting the great Mike Lindell, My Pillow, and of course, our radio station in this program. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. We'll be right back. So I'm going to get to the calls when we get back. So if you're on hold, stand by. If you love Trump, press 1. If you love Trump, press 1. You know, you guys know I love Trump. No, there's no other choices, just 1. If you love Trump, press 1. Oh, yeah. Obama is most definitely in a huge panic. There's no question that Obama's in a huge panic right now. I mean, there's just, you can see it. I mean, he's really messing up. So I'm gonna go to the phones, and then I'll share with you what Tulsi really said after we take some calls. Yeah, welcome everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. We're in a radio station break right now. We'll be back live shortly. Look at all that Trump love. Look at all those ones in the chat. A chat of Trump love. That's right. Yeah, if you want to call in, the number is pinned in the chat, and there's only a couple of rules, okay? Because we're on the radio, you cannot use profanity. If you use profanity, I got to let you go. And 1 call per day. That's it. So, pretty simple. Yep. Oh, this is an exciting time. I never thought I'd be talking about Barack Obama like this 2 days in a row. I mean, and I never dreamed that I would have Obama in a thumbnail. In fact, I remember when Obama left office, I'm like, oh, we don't have to talk about him anymore. And I've got him in 2 of my YouTube thumbnails in a row here in the morning. I never thought. Now, let me ask you guys, do you think that Obama, with his response and then this desperate flooding of social media with all these Trump Epstein videos at Fashion Week, doesn't he look nervous? Does he look scared? Does he seem panicked to you? Yes or no? I think he does. I think he looks completely panicked. What do you guys think? Does he look panicked to you? He looks terrified. We'll be back in about 1 minute. I think he looks completely terrified. I really do. Yeah, there's only 1 opening on the board. So when we come out of the break, I'll go to the calls. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Michelle must be pissed. About 30 seconds, we'll be back. Every line on the board is lit. No, now it is. Okay, I forgot we added some lines. Every line on the board is lit right now. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Every line on the board is lit. And of course, when a coup has been uncovered, that seems to get people very opinionated. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, sir. This is Red Hood. I was in your stream a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Speak up.
All right. First of all, good morning. I was looking at your stream and it was very interesting. So in a couple minutes, I will subscribe to your channel.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It is good to find and an honor to hear somebody speak intelligently and for once and speaking just positive stuff about this president that we have right now. And it's a shame right about now that the magnitude of the very crash out of the liberals that's going on right now as we speak, even in your stream.
Yeah.
Because it's hilarious. It's funny, but it's sad. The only thing that they can stoop to now is insults, name calling, and just blurting out stuff that really isn't true about.
Well, their leader, this treasonous, according to President Trump, he committed treason, so he's a traitor. Barack Obama is their leader, and he is in a panic. So if your leader's in a panic, that causes panic among the ranks. So liberals nationwide they're dealing with major panic because they've been caught. And people are going to go to prison. Obama's facing 20 years behind bars. 20 years.
What's really messed up about, even when, like, after all the stuff that's with Biden and everything, in the raw, I kind of feel sorry for that man because he didn't have no control over his administration.
Yeah.
He allowed so much stuff to happen, and really history repeated itself.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden has done what Eleanor Roosevelt did. When Teddy Roosevelt was sick with polio and bedridden, they made her official shot caller.
Yeah, she was. You're right. People, we don't talk about Franklin Roosevelt too much with that, but you're right. Towards the end, a lot of people believe that Eleanor Roosevelt was running the country. Yeah. Where are you calling me from?
I'm calling from St. Louis, Missouri.
All right.
Unfortunately, with this being a liberal city, a liberal man, it's bad.
Isn't that where they had the riots after Michael Brown attacked that cop? Wasn't that St. Louis?
Yeah. Yep. Yes, it was. There was a lot of stuff that went down, and a lot of people were just uninformed about what happened. This man had I'm not perfect by a long shot.
Well, who is? There was only one man who was perfect, right? But Michael Brown, he who was the size of a small elephant. He was a big guy. He he charged the police officer. He was going to attack the cop, and the cop defended his life. And by the way, that's how the courts. Hey, listen, I'm going to move on, but welcome to the program, and call me again sometime. All right?
All right, for sure.
All right, take care. It's nice to hear some wisdom from St. Louis, because St. Louis is kind of like home base of BLM. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Damien. I'm from Maine.
All right, Damien. What's on your mind?
I don't really see how what Obama did was treason at all. I don't think it's treason to direct the FBI to investigate.
That's not what he did. That's not what he did. So you don't. I understand you having the. I'm not giving you a hard time, but your opinion.
Okay.
You don't have the information, so you don't know what he did. And I'm going to tell you what he did. Do you want to know?
Well, from my understanding, what Tulsi Gabbard was referring to was an email from Obama after the election that was directing FBI to investigate the
No.
Russian election interference.
No, in fact, that's not true. I know that that's the common line over with the MSNBC crowd and all, but no. What happened was this, and Tulsi Gabbard has declassified all of these documents. The prior to December 9th, after the election, President Trump had won. He was the president-elect of the United States. Obama was still president. Part of what you said is accurate, but there's a lot of things that you don't know about that aren't factored in. Obama had the
Well, I'm not trying to give you a hard time either, but I wish you'd get to the point here. Respectfully.
I'm getting to the point.
All right.
But you got, I'm sorry to be impatient. I mean, I'm not some TikTok person who's going to tell you everything in 3 seconds. This is important. We're talking about an attempted overthrow of the United States government, okay? So this is important stuff.
The United States government.
So after
investigating an election that has already happened, that's overthrowing.
That's not what happened. See, you don't want to know what happened.
Well,
So
I wish you'd tell me.
Well, I would tell you, but you got to stop waiting to talk and listen, all right?
You know what? I'm not going to talk for like 30, 45 seconds. All right.
Whatever. It's not that I don't want you to. I want you to listen at the same time. So
Brian,
here's.
Brian, explain to me. I know.
Well, wait a minute. That was the fastest 35 seconds of my life. I thought you were gonna.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
After Trump won and he was president-elect, Obama ordered the intelligence agencies to investigate if there was Russian interference. Every single agency, every intelligence agency did an investigation and determined that there was no Russian interference. They even went so far to say that they didn't have the ability to do it. Then on December 9th, Trump is president-elect. On December 9th, Obama called a meeting with Brennan, Clapper, Comey, and others and had them write a fake intelligence report saying that there was Russian interference, which set in motion a lot of things.
For that. I'd like your evidence for that. When
the documents that Tulsi Gabbard,
report.
the documents that Tulsi Gabbard released are the source, and she has published all the documents on her X, and they're all there, and that's the source. And Tulsi Gabbard has been doing these interviews since Friday. Her first one was Hannity Friday night on Fox. She's done multiple interviews detailing what are in these files.
Okay, what are in the files?
What I just told you. These are memorandum about all of these meetings. I'm not here. I'm not going to read 100 pages of them. You go to Tulsi Gabbard on the air.
You've gone through Tulsi Gabbard's Twitter feed. I haven't. That's fine.
Okay, so I'm informed. I'm informed.
I'll even take your word on it that somehow this an investigation.
It was not an investigation. He had them. He ordered them to. He ordered them to write a false intelligence report.
I believe you. I'll
All right, listen. I got to run for the break, but I appreciate the call. This talking point. They what's the source? What the source? Tulsi Gabbard on her X, when she first released this story, she put a link to all these documents that she declassified, as well as a press release and summary of it. And she's been giving interviews explaining what's in them the whole time. And as she releases more, she adds those as well. Now, it is hurricane season here in Florida. Oh boy, it sure is. And that means we get some heavy rains and everything else. If you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof. And you want to get that taken care of. You want to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. He's a good MAGA guy. He's been with us for many, many years here on the program, and he will never sell you a roof you do not need. If you need just a simple repair, Tom Laporta will do it. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida, everywhere in between, works with every type of roofing material, and also works on every type of structure. He does residential, commercial, municipal, even church roofs. And not only does he work with every type of roofing material, he has the same tiles that the president has on Mar-a-Lago. And I've seen his work on Steve Kane's house, some of our listeners' house. So I've even gone to a job site. He and his team, I don't like calling them roofers. I know that's what they are, but Tom Laporta and his crew, they are artisans. Their work is incredible. Give him a call. And he can also handle a job of any size, whether it's a single-family home, an apartment building, one office, or a community with over 300 units in it. No matter how large the job, he can handle that too. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll take our break and come back with your calls after this. Yeah, these Democrats and their talking points are pretty weak, aren't they? Are they not weak? Mm-hmm. Very weak. Very, very weak. They don't, when they're in a panic, they just say stuff. Oh, what's your source? Tulsi Gabbard. Where are these documents? Well, Tulsi Gabbard has them all on her X. These are just knee-jerk reflexes, these answers that I'm getting from Democrats when they call. Oh, man, I tell you. Now, listen, guys, if you've not already done it, I'm going to talk about this more on the air in a little bit. Join us on our 10th annual MAGA cruise. Give Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot a call, 561-244-5779. If you book, you're going to be paying less than anyone else on this cruise ship because we got an incredible deal. But here's the catch. We're running out of those rooms. Those cabins are running out. We grabbed a whole bunch of them, and once those cabins are gone, we're going to lose this super, super, super low price we have. So you want to call in, just make your reservation, put your deposit down. We're going to Antigua, Nassau in the Bahamas, and the Virgin Islands, and we have the most incredible shore excursions. Give Ian a call, 561-244-5779. If you get his voicemail, leave your name and number, and Ian will call you back. This is our 10th anniversary cruise, and we have a great time on all these cruises. And the shore excursions, I've told you about one where we're going snorkeling on a beautiful luxury, well, basically a yacht, and having a lobster lunch, but we're working on another one that we haven't firmed it up yet. It is so cool and spectacular. We have dinner together every night. We have a whole bunch of onboard activities that we've never done before on our cruises, and of course our shore excursions. So give Ian a call, 561-244-5779, and you can see the video. This is from one of our cruises that I put together. We just have a great time. 561-244-5779. Give Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot a call and join us. You'll have a great time, I promise. Let's see. Okay, we'll be back soon. Oh, man. Oh, Tulsi is a brave woman. A brave woman. We'll be back in about 1 minute. If you're on hold, stand by. Yeah, those of you that have been on our past cruises that are going, we're planning some stuff that you'll see. We're going to have a great time. Some of this stuff is still in the planning stages. I don't announce anything till I got the contract signed on each thing we're doing, but this is going to be a beautiful cruise. All right, about 30 seconds, we'll be back. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Callers on hold, stand by. Like that last caller, if you noticed, the liberal callers, the reactions of that guy, those were just reflexes. What's your source? Where are these documents? Tulsi Gabbard's put them all in her X. And as she releases more, she's going to add those too. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Johnson.
Yeah, turn down the volume in the background, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
question. I like your shirt. Where can I get that shirt? It looks nice.
This is the shirt of the, of the iconic photograph of President Trump when he got up after the Never Trumpers shot him in Butler and said, "Fight, fight, fight." I have a picture of this on my wall. I don't know. My wife bought me this shirt. I don't know where she got it, but it's a good one. I have a couple of them.
Very nice. Another question. There's a MAGA hat with 2 A's. Is it safe to buy?
With 2 A's?
You like MAGA, make great again?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, make America great again. Yeah, that. I saw a lot of those in the last campaign. Yeah, I think I might even have one of those. I might even have one of those. I'm not sure.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being positive and honest, and keep up the good work.
All right, take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, sir. Let's say my name is Josh, and I better not disclose where I am calling from for security reasons.
Oh, I know. You're so. Speak up a little bit from your secured bunker.
No, not secured bunker, but let's say I work in cybersecurity and intelligence.
Whatever.
So
Whatever. Okay, whatever. All right. Another one of these cosplay callers that has this identity. Okay.
Oh, really?
What's on your mind?
Anyone who could hit the title, who could disclose or add any light to any topics that you were talking about?
No, just here. Let's hear your thoughts. We're talking about Obama's coup against President Trump. That's the topic of the morning. Hold on, let me answer some of these phones while you collect your intelligence. All right, so what's on your mind?
So let's say for people like me whose job it is to protect this country, and by country, let's say infrastructure, and by infrastructure means anything that makes this world work. We have actively seen the past 15 years certain countries upregulate their activities towards us. And we know what countries those are, and we know what tactics they're using. And these days, they're using a lot of disinformation.
All right, I'm missing the part of your call that has something to do with the conversation today. Okay, so can you cut to that part?
Well, I get that. And we know for a fact that countries like Russia are actively attacking us in different ways. And one of those is social media manipulation. And a lot of those ways are targeted ads to people like yourself.
Oh, okay. So this is an interesting thing. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, this was a big thing. This was a big thing during the first campaign that Russia was, excuse me, I'm going to ask you some
questions. Whether you like it or not.
Hold on a second here. People like you, I know. I know. Yes, I know. Okay, you're a hero. You're a hero. You're talking about. Excuse me. I'm going to ask you a question, which you can, since this is about your area of expertise. In the first campaign, there was a lot of talk that Russians were starting Facebook groups and running Facebook campaigns. Give me an example of an ad that they ran that would take a person and that was not a Trump supporter and turn them into one. I keep hearing about these ads that converted people to vote for Trump that were misleading by Russia. Give me an example of an ad that converted someone to support Trump who otherwise would not have.
There were the large campaigns of ads.
Yeah, but give me an example of an ad that's that powerful, that's that influential.
Here's the ad. You know all this crap about conversions and brainwashing in schools? That never exists. None of that ever existed.
I don't know what that's not an ad. No. You said that there were Facebook ads put up by Russia that turned Americans into Trump supporters who were only Trump supporters because of this ad. And this is the area that you work in, right? So give me an example of one of these ads so we can talk about it.
I just told you.
No, that's not an ad. That's just some random thought. All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness. Do any of you guys believe his story? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, I mean, think about this with Tulsi Gabbard. Not only do they hate her because she's a traitor, she was a Democrat, but remember when she finally announced that she was going to join the Republican Party?
She's not a Republican. She's not a Republican. She's an independent, isn't she? I don't think she became a Republican.
No,
Did she become a
She
Republican?
became a Republican. Yeah, she became a Republican.
Well, good for
Yeah.
her. I thought she became an independent.
No, because I remember this because I believe it was at one of his rallies, and she showed up, and she was wearing like a red pantsuit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I do remember that.
so-
That was not an accident. You know, women are very much into making statements with their hair and fashion. I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And looking at all these people that they say are in this thing. Look at the possible sheer amount of possible jail time that's coming toward these people.
Obama's
And it's
facing
like-
20 years.
Obama's facing, but Lynch and all the rest of them, if they face 20 years too, think about it. 20 times. That could be over 200 years combined.
Oh, yeah.
Jail time.
Easily. All right, Mike, you're right. I mean, yeah, we're talking about hundreds of years of jail sentences, no doubt. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, speak up. You're on the air.
Hi, I'm Joni. I'm calling from New York City.
All right. What's up, Joni?
Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah, I can. I can hear you.
Hi, Brian. I'm going to turn you down. So.
Okay, yeah, turn
Okay,
the
so-
volume down in the background because there's a delay, and then just
Okay.
listen on the phone.
Okay. Listen, first of all, I want to thank you for the great job you do and your tolerance as a MAGA supporter, your tolerance of putting up with some of these callers like Damien, these people that call in and are so, they have that Trump derangement syndrome. You
Yeah.
can hear it. It's the first thing. Okay. But anyway, I want to ask you a question about Obama when he left the White House. Now, I don't know if I'm right about this, but didn't he put a bug in the White House on
Yeah.
Trump?
Yes, they found listening devices in the West Wing that Obama had put in place, and I talked about this I was the first. I know everybody likes to say they're the first. I was the first one to break this story because what had happened in Trump. Those of you that were listening back then, in Trump's first term in the summer, I think it was the first summer of his first term, he left the White House and moved everything to Bedminster. And they had this cover story. They were replacing the air conditioning unit at the White House in the West Wing. And I didn't believe that. They found listening devices that were left behind by Obama, and they were cleaning out the place of listening devices. That's what that was all about. That's why President Trump does so much of his business at Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster, because he knows those are safe. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that hasn't come up yet with this new batch, but it will.
And I wanted to comment real quickly. This whole thing with the Epstein thing, the reason that the left is, pushing that so hard, they have to get something on Trump. There's nothing on Trump. First of all, anyone that had any money at all or business, Epstein got his ass into all those people's business. That was why he was a plant to do so, to blackmail them.
See, what Victor Davis Hanson last week, I can't remember what show he was on. It might have been Megyn Kelly. I can't remember. But Victor Davis Hanson said that what Epstein did was he would use all these perversions to set men up and then blackmail them to become clients of his for his hedge fund.
Right, and he did it with Wexler, too, by the way. The guy that set him up, the house in New York or the mansion, this and that, Wexler that owned the Limited and all this and that, Jeffrey Epstein was blackmailing him.
Yeah.
But anyway, one thing I wanted to mention. Now, the thing about Obama with his deal, like putting this thing on Trump all about Jeffrey Epstein and trying to make Trump out to be some sort of a pervert.
Yeah.
Listen, Obama, have you ever read Larry Sinclair's book?
Yeah, I don't want to get into all that. I don't want to get into all that stuff. But yeah, but I know. Everybody knows what you're talking about, and the down and how in the down low club and all that. Yeah. Well, yesterday, I was at the top. I was talking yesterday. President Trump freaked out Obama. That's why he released that statement. And then they started flooding the media with these Fashion Week videos of Trump at Fashion Week with Melania, and Epstein was there. Epstein bought his way into celebrity circles like anybody else can who's rich. It doesn't mean they were hanging out and they're buddies.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
There were a lot of people
All right,
there.
Well, you're brilliant. I love your show. I love your tolerance for these people that call in that are very low IQ people, but you're the best.
Thank you.
Keep it up, man. I'm listening.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate the call. Now, I want to tell you guys, our 10th annual MAGA cruise is right around the corner. We leave in March. And you want to book, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. He's handled all of our cruises at 561-244-5779. You know, we've got a great deal on we're going to Antigua, Nassau, and the Bahamas, and the Virgin Islands. And we have got a great deal on the cabins for our group. When you're in our group, you're going to be paying less than everyone else on board the ship. However, I talked to Ian yesterday afternoon, and, you know, we grabbed a whole bunch of cabins. There aren't that many left. They're selling out. Once this batch of cabins is gone, that super, super, super low price will also be gone. So you want to call and make your reservation, 561-244-5779. We have shore excursions that are going to blow your mind. You know, we have this luxury boat that we've chartered in Antigua for our snorkeling trip, where we're going to have a lobster lunch, and we're working on another one. We haven't signed the contract yet, so I got to wait till it's signed to tell you about it. But this is so exciting, like something we've never done before in one of the islands. Very excited about it. And we have a lot of onboard activities on the ship on our sea days that we've never done before. And you guys are all invited. We're going to have a great time. And I know a lot of you this week have booked, and that's why we're running out of our group space. So call in, make your reservations, lock in this low, low price. This is our 10th anniversary cruise, and spend a week with me, Brian Craig, and Steve Kane. 561-244-5779. That's 561-244-5779. If you get Ian's voicemail, leave your name and number, and he will call you back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. Oh, boy, oh, boy. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'll take some more calls, and then we'll start going through all the new information. Oh, no, it's a great time. You will love the MAGA cruise. And it's my yearly vacation. You get to spend vacation with me. It's amazing. Okay. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'll take some more calls, and I'm going to start going through the new stuff because so much has happened. So much has happened. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a radio station break we're in right now. Now, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys, okay? You will love this program, I promise you. And anytime I'm live in one of my studios, whether I'm in this studio or at the radio station, I always take live calls. I'll have a new podcast this afternoon, which I take calls on my podcast as well. And you can call in whether you agree or disagree, as you can see. And all the calls are 100% screenless and unvetted, meaning we don't have anybody answer the phone. When you call in, I just reach over and, here we go again, putting somebody on hold. And when I say, you're on the air, what's your name, where are you calling from? That's the first time we know who's on hold. Mm-hmm. We'll be back in about a minute. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Less than a minute. Yeah, I'm going to, I got a notebook. I got to start detailing the entire Obama case. You ever see a composition book that was shaped like this? I love these. But this is what I got to put the Obama coup. I have to write on there Obama coup on the cover to keep the notes and the dates of everything that he did. I don't usually do that, but I'm going to do it on this one. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. If you're on hold, hang in there. After the top of the hour, I'm going to start going through some of the audio sound bites from yesterday, because yesterday was just an insane, overflowing news day about the Obama-led coup. All right, let's take a couple more calls, though, first. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's AT. Yeah. Can I ask you specifically questions?
You can ask, but it doesn't. I'm not promising that I'll answer.
Right. Where do you get your information from?
My information about what in particular?
Like Obama. Didn't Obama address all this accusations previously? Didn't he talk about? Because they've been talking about him bugging the office and all that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so where am I getting my information? I'll tell you where I'm getting my information. You're talking about the Obama coup. The Director of National Intelligence, who oversees all of America's intelligence agencies, Tulsi Gabbard, has declassified and released documents that were a higher level of classification than top secret that detail Obama's coup attempt against President Trump's first term. And she said last night she's releasing thousands of more documents today on this as well. So Tulsi Gabbard, the Director of National Intelligence, and the President of the United States, Donald Trump. That's where I'm getting my information, since you asked.
That's crazy. She's a Democrat.
So is Obama.
She was a Democrat. She was number two.
She was
on the Democrat committee.
She was a Democrat. She woke up. You know, when the Never Trumpers shot President Trump, a lot of people woke up.
Yeah.
You know, Ronald Reagan used to be a Democrat. Do you know that?
Oh, man.
He was a Democrat.
I'm an old man. I voted for him.
Okay. Yeah, well, he used to be a Democrat. A lot of people used to be Democrats. Donald Trump used to be a Democrat when he was young. He used to be a Democrat.
Yeah. I hope they can prove this, because listen, it ain't right. You know, what happened now, if they let this all slide, if they let it go, then next time when the Democrats are going to be kings, that's going to be the kings they're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not whether they can prove it. It has been. See, the documents she released are documents from Obama's own administration. They documented their crimes.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's nuts, isn't it? They're dumb.
I'm like, they so stupid, though, when you think about it.
That's right.
They could have done all this, like, super secret and all that, but everything is like the email. They started sending text messages and emails on the FBI phone and all that. I was crying.
That's right.
I was crying when I heard all that with the stroking page. Oh, man, this white people going crazy.
Now, are you new to the program? I don't think we've spoken before. Are you new?
Now, I've been down in Florida. I used to work in Florida on some projects, and then I come back up north to my hometown.
Okay. Well, welcome. It's good to hear from you, and thanks for the call, man. All right. Take care. Don't you love it? We had a South Florida listener. He leaves Florida, and he still listens to us wherever he said he was calling from. I forgot. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing, Brian? This is Angeles Antonio.
Hey, what's up?
I'm on the road. You know I'm a truck driver.
Uh-huh.
I want to ask you something, and I'm trying not to be hypothetical about this, but just imagine everything went through. They brought charges against Hussein and everything. He was going to get locked. Would this impede on his presidency? Could they come back and say, impeach that clown?
Wait, you're talking about impeach who? Obama?
Yeah. Could they come back and say, well, we're putting in for impeachment of his presidency?
Yeah, he could get impeached. Yeah, they impeached. Yeah, the Democrats impeached Trump after he left office. So why not? Yeah. Obama could be impeached. It wouldn't go anywhere. I mean, where he's going to go is federal. He's going to go on trial in a federal court. Is where he's going to end up.
Yeah, that would be lovely. That's all I really want to know. And thank you, Brian. You're good and you're informative. Thank you, man.
All right.
Steve, you're a great guy.
All right. Appreciate the call. Yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara in Baltimore. How are you? I'm so excited.
I can tell.
Oh, my gosh. Barack Obama sounds like the biggest fool. He is cooked. He knows it.
Mm-hmm.
He knows it. I'm so glad Tulsi Gabbard came out right after he made his little statement about misinformation and the rest of that BS. He's going down. He's going down. I wake up every morning and I am just so excited, Brian. So I'm doing my exercise stuff, but I just had to say it. Thank you. And please, I need a shirt with Barack Obama lockup from that AI thing that they made.
Yeah.
We need a T-shirt, Brian. Get
Obama.
one made. You
All right.
become a
Okay.
billionaire.
Okay. Yeah. Bill. Yeah. The mugshot of Obama, an Obama mugshot shirt. Yeah. I'll buy that shirt. I'll wear that. Maybe I get a shirt with Trump's mugshot on one side and Obama's mugshot on the other. Yeah. Now, if you or someone you know suffer from neuropathy, call Lighthouse Medical in Pompano. Lighthouse Medical can help you no matter where you're located in the United States. They have a treatment for neuropathy that works and a treatment for neuropathy that lasts. Steve had his treatment 3 years ago, and he had neuropathy pretty bad. And his neuropathy, it is not returned. He doesn't have any of those symptoms anymore. Give them a call. Here's the number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And again, they can help you no matter where you're located in the United States. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right. Now, after the top of the hour, I'm going to go through some of the audio sound bites from yesterday because a lot happened. And the news events in the Oval Office yesterday with President Trump's press conference caused Barack Obama to completely freak out. And like someone who's a criminal who knows they've been caught, he made a lot of bad decisions yesterday. And he made himself look like he's in a panic. And he's in a panic because he knows what he did. The things we know about what he did, that's just the surface. He knows everything he did. And now he knows that Donald Trump and Tulsi Gabbard know everything he did. And that's why Barack Obama is in such a panic. So we're going to go through all of that, play you the audio sound bites, and take more of your calls as well. And those of you that are new to the program, welcome. This is the most pro-Donald Trump place you will find anywhere. Radio, television, internet, anywhere. And this is the longest-running radio show. I was talking to Steve last night. Next month, August, begins the 49th year of the Steve Kane Show on the air. And I said after he completes the 50th year, that's a record no one's going to break. In fact, I believe this is the longest-running radio show with the same host in America. The Grand Ole Opry, they claim to be the longest-running radio show, but with the same host, I don't think so. We are, without a doubt, uncontested, the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida. But I do believe this is the longest-running radio show in the United States of America, too, the Steve Kane Show. And that's because of all you nice people out there that are long-time and loyal listeners and support our radio station and, of course, support our sponsors, and it's greatly appreciated. I just can't believe it. In less than 2 weeks, we are going to be in the 49th year of the Steve Kane Show. I mean, I used to listen to Steve Kane when I was in high school. okay? And now here I am, so it's crazy stuff. All right, those of you on hold, stand by. We'll also get back to the calls after the break, okay? Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. And, you know, I'll tell you, this is like the third day of the coup talk. Really, it started Friday, so it's like day 5, 4 days of it. I haven't heard anyone play the race card yet, right? I mean, this really shows you how post-racial this country really is. No one has played the race card. Oh, they're going after Obama because he's a black president. No one's done that. We're in a post-racial society. He's not going to be able to hide behind the race card again, Barack Obama. He's going to have to face justice for the crimes he committed. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. Calls on hold, stand by. I'm Brian, back after this. Oh, boy. Yeah, those of you on hold, I looked at the clock wrong, and I thought it was time to end the hour. And then I looked at the clock, and I had 2 minutes left. And it wasn't long enough to go to a call and give them a proper forum. So I'm sorry about that. Hang in there, guys. Oh boy, it's one of those days, isn't it? Everybody has those days. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay. I'm just getting all my stuff together. Where is that copy? I'm missing some of my commercial copy. I'm sure it's here somewhere. Here it is. Okay, we'll be back in less than a minute, guys. If you're on hold, hang in there. Less than a minute, we'll be back. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Bag is back. Yep, this is why we elected Trump, to do what he's doing. Okay, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, and hour number 2 has begun. Call us on hold. Stand by. Okay, there's a liberal talking point that they've been bringing up the last few days, and I want to debunk that. And I've wanted to do this the last couple days, but the show's been so busy that I haven't had a chance to do it. And I'm going to and you've heard callers say this to me. Liberal callers, right? The liberal callers want to talk about anything other than all the evidence that's been released, because the evidence is damning. You know, these documents that have been declassified, and remember, these were classified at a level above top secret. I don't know, what do they call above top secret? Ultra, I don't know what they call it, but it was a level above top secret. And these are documents from the Obama administration. So these are their own documents. And Tulsi Gabbard's releasing them. And then she's putting the link to all the documents on her X. If you follow her on X, she has them right there. She says she's going to have a huge release today. So they can't deal with the issues, the Democrats. So what do? They've got two tactics. Try to get you to talk about Epstein, and then say, then they want to try to take down the credibility of Tulsi Gabbard. Now, Tulsi Gabbard's credibility, I mean, I love her. She's doing great stuff. Isn't it really an issue here? Because she's releasing Obama administration documents that show this coup conspiracy. This isn't her analysis or opinion. These are the Obama documents. But so anyway, what they say is, well, what does she know? She said that Iran didn't have a nuclear weapon, and Trump gave her a hard time about it. Said didn't know what she was talking about. She has no credibility. There were a couple people that called me with that yesterday. Well, I want to put in perspective what happened here. First of all, that's not exactly what she said. I'm going to play you the audio that they keep referencing in its entirety in a moment. But this is one thing you've got to understand. This news story that dropped on Friday that's developing with the declassification by Tulsi Gabbard and the release of these documents, the players involved have known about this for weeks, that it was coming. And the reason they knew is because they got tipped off by leakers inside these agencies who said, hey, the Director of National Intelligence is about to drop this. So they went out and they tried to discredit both Trump and Tulsi. With Trump, it's the Epstein stuff. That's why all of a sudden they're talking about Epstein. That was attempted a distraction. And then this Iranian thing actually was a very clever attempted setup. If you remember a couple weeks back when we were building up to I can't remember if it was before the strikes or after the strikes on Iran, but President Trump was on the tarmac boarding or deplaning Air Force One, and a reporter said, a member of your administration said that they don't have a nuclear weapon. He said, who said that? They said, Tulsi Gabbard. Well, she doesn't know what she's talking about. That was a planted question by a fake news reporter to do a preemptive discrediting attempt of Tulsi Gabbard because this information was coming out. That's not what she said. I'm going to play this for you. This is Tulsi Gabbard. This is the congressional hearing in question. I'm going to play the whole thing, and then I'll give you a little summary at the end. Okay, so I know that sounds a little dry, but that's what they're referencing when they say, she said they didn't have, we didn't, when Trump, and if you go back and you listen to, now what she said was very, academic, but if you go back and listen to people like Marco Rubio, when they were talking around the strike time on Iran, they didn't say that Iran had a nuclear weapon. They said what Tulsi Gabbard said. They were building a stockpile of enriched uranium to a level where they could use it as a weapon in a weapon. Don't you get it? They were 3 weeks away from having enough enriched uranium for multiple weapons, nuclear weapons. No one, President Trump, none of us, Israel, were saying that they had a nuclear missile or were building a nuclear missile. They were enriching enough uranium to weaponize and create a nuclear device. So what Tulsi Gabbard said is nothing like they're telling you. She was right. Now, she said it in a very academic way and all, but she never said they had a nuclear weapon. Marco Rubio, President Trump, didn't say they had a nuclear weapon. They were enriching enough uranium to build nuclear weapons. And the facility where they were doing that is what was taken out. Gee whiz. So that talking point does not apply. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Nathan Paula.
Hey, Renee. What's up?
Well, I think you guys really, no, I'm not going to give you advice. I think if you want to run up against Obama, I think you should go ahead and try, because he would eat you guys for lunch. You've been wanting to do that ever since he ran. That's the truth of it, because it's really a racist campaign you guys are running.
You're aware that Tulsi Gabbard is a Native American. She's an indigenous person. She's a Native Hawaiian. She's not white, and she's taking the lead.
That makes not a bit of difference.
Well, how can she be one of these white supremacists if she's not white and she's an indigenous person? She's indigenous.
You didn't hear a word I said. You people don't respect her either.
Yeah, we love Tulsi Gabbard. She's a brave woman.
Oh, please. The fact that no, you don't. No, you don't. And you've said it. It's on film.
She's redeemed herself. She was red-pilled. See, when these never-Trumpers shot President Trump in Butler, a lot of Democrats, like Bobby Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard, were red-pilled.
You know, the thing about that whole thing in Butler, I think that whole thing was staged, you know.
Okay, well, we're not talking, I know, you and Torre on CNN, we're not talking, notice how they want to talk about anything other than the coup organized by Obama.
Coup. Oh, you wish. And then you get some Uncle Toms to call you up and kiss your butt. I'm going to tell you, man, they don't live in my neighborhood. Those Uncle Toms that call you up and kiss your feet, they don't live in this neighborhood, because they
Harlem is a white neighborhood, I thought. Bill Clinton turned it into a white neighborhood. You live in a white neighborhood now?
They are very polite white people in this neighborhood.
Remember Spike Lee was complaining that the white people were calling the police on his dad for playing the saxophone? And they were building dog parks and cupcake eateries in Harlem. He was very upset, Spike Lee. So, yeah, you're right. So you live in a white neighborhood is what you're telling us. Okay. So these callers that called in earlier, they live in black neighborhoods and you live in a white neighborhood? Okay.
Spike Lee lives in Brooklyn. I know Spike Lee.
No, his father, I know, you know Spike Lee. His father lives in Harlem, if he's still alive. He said they called the police on his dad for playing jazz music. You live in a white neighborhood.
Man.
That's what Spike Lee said.
Oh, really?
He said they were building dog parks and Starbucks and everything.
That's what you people would do.
All right, appreciate the call. So John Solomon, let me take our first break of the second hour. And I want to talk about the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper, which I've been sleeping on every night for years. It will change your life. If you're tossing and turning at night, not getting a deep sleep, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper is the answer. If you have a lopsided mattress, an old mattress, a lumpy, bumpy mattress, a mattress that just isn't comfortable, get yourself the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. You know, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress toppers it's 3-layered. The first is MyPillow's patented foam that gives you that support. Then there's a transitional foam layer for both comfort and pressure relief. And then a temperature regulating cover that's 100% machine washable and dryable that keeps you cool all night during the hot summer months and warm and toasty during the winter. It'll transform your old mattress into a luxury mattress. I'm here to tell you, it'll change your life. It's got 4 corner straps so it stays in place. It doesn't slip around or anything. The cover is removable and washable. It comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Comes in every mattress size, too, from twin, queen, king, split king, California king, every size in between, including the hard-to-find RV queens and all of those. And there's a huge discount right now with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. So go to mypillow.com, click on the mattress topper. Make sure you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for that huge discount. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be right back. Oh, just so exciting, guys. I'm going to get into John Solomon when we get back. Now, have you guys called? You can call Ian now at Cruise and Travel Depot and leave your name and number. He'll call you back if you get the voicemail. Make a reservation for our MAGA cruise. You're going to hear me talk about this a lot over the next few days because we only have a few cabins left with that huge low discount. Ian told me yesterday. And once those are gone, the price is going to go up. We grabbed a whole bunch of cabins a long time ago and got this. Basically, you got a 2019 price in 2025. And you'll find out when you call Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. He'll give you a price quote over the phone, 561-244-5779. You can see we have a great time, and we got a great MAGA group. This is our 10th anniversary cruise. Make your reservations. You'll be paying less than everyone else on board the ship. We've got great shore excursions and onboard activities, things we've never done before that are going to make this so much extra special and fun. 561-244-5779. Give them a call and join us. I look forward to seeing you all there on the cruise. Yeah, we'll be back shortly. I'll take some more calls, but I got to get into this new thing with John Solomon. Yep, 561-244-5779. Leave your name and number if you get the voicemail. Ian will call you back. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, drinks and Wi-Fi are included, yes. We'll be back in about 1 minute. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Okay, John Solomon, he's the Woodward and Bernstein of this Obama coup story. He broke it Friday at Turning Point USA in Tampa 10 days ago. And he said there's going to be a big story going back 10 years. It's coming out next week. Everyone's going to be happy. Remember all that? And here it is. And he's with Just the News, and you see him on Real America's Voice. He is very good, John Solomon. Just the News is his news website, which is very good. and he's on Real America's Voice all the time too. And he is, when I say he's the Woodward and Bernstein, he is. He is the reporter that the Trump administration is giving all this information to report on. And he has been coming out with just incredible things. I got a couple clips of John Solomon from yesterday. Listen to this. This is John Solomon. Wow. That's huge. That just broke yesterday on Just the News, Real American Voice with John Solomon. He's amazing, John Solomon. I mean, he really is amazing. And he's got great sourcing, doesn't he? Now, this is, oh, by the way, I will mention Ozzy Osbourne before we get back to this. I'm going to tell you right out the box, I was never a fan of Ozzy Osbourne's music. I wasn't. It was not my kind of music. But I did like his reality show, which was like 20 years ago. Can you believe? And it's too bad his marriage fell apart. But, you know, everybody liked Ozzy Osbourne in later years. When he was a big star and he had all that Prince of Darkness and the bats and all that stuff going on, he was a controversial figure. But I was never into his music. And I'm still not. So I don't want to pretend that I was. But I did like the reality show. And I remember there was one episode, one of his kids had a drug thing going on, and he was very upset, and he had to talk to them. This was on the Osbournes, and he said, you know, he says, don't do drugs. He says, look at me. Look at what I'm like. You know what's crazy is Ozzy was like my age, maybe even a little younger, when he was on the Osbournes, and look how he was then. The very fact that he lived this long and the condition that he's been in from his drug addictions over the years is a miracle. But I know a lot of you have probably seen, because it's all over the news now, he just, was it about 2 weeks ago or so, he was in a concert, and he sounded really good, didn't he? He was sitting down, but he sounded really good. So rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Okay, so John Solomon, this is just, I got another thing with John Solomon. This is huge. So he's got a document, John Solomon, that he reported on that shows that the Biden White House, and Biden in particular, Biden's White House legal counsel, not only was working with Jack Smith. Jack Smith is who was running the J6 persecution of Trump, broke into Mar-a-Lago and everything, but that the White House counsel gave Jack Smith President Trump's cell phones, his presidential cell phones, to get info from. That's illegal. And they were doing that because they were using the Justice Department as a weapon against their opponent. Then, I mean, that's nuts. Now, if you remember, with Fannie Willis in Fulton County, we have proof that was widely reported that her boy toy lover was at the White House meeting with the White House counsel of Biden's too. So what do we got here? We got a RICO conspiracy. They keep charging Trump with things that they were doing. RICO, mortgage fraud. So this new document that John Solomon broke, you put that together with Fannie Willis coordinating with the White House counsel. So all of this lawfare during the last 4 years against President Trump was being organized by the Biden White House, in particular his White House counsel. This is huge. Watergate's jaywalking. Really, it's jaywalking. This is massive. Okay, so here's the next clip. This is also John Solomon yesterday from Just the News. His website, just Google Just the News. He's amazing. And he's also on Real America's Voice. Wow. Okay. I mean, this is huge, huge. So this is just yesterday with John Solomon. Did I tell you, this is Woodward and Bernstein with full transparency and not anonymous sourcing either. He tells you who his sources are. People go on the record. He mentioned 2 senators there. So the first piece showed that Biden's White House counsel was overseeing and coordinating with Jack Smith, gave him Trump's cell phones and all this stuff, which is illegal, right? Weaponizing the Justice Department for their political opponent in the campaign. And then he's got his CIA director coordinating a fake letter to give a talking point to Biden during the upcoming debate against President Trump. These are crimes on a level that we have never seen in our government. And for whatever reason, they documented everything, whether it was arrogance or they wanted everything on the record so no individual took the blame. I don't know. But they left a paper trail of records with their signatures on it all over the place. Emails, memos, and they got it all. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, whether you're whatever side you're on. But are any of you Democrats waking up to this now? Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. This is big, man. 888-465-2631. You know, I've had so many people tell me how much weight they've seen just melt off my body thanks to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. And it really is amazing. And I noticed it myself. You know, I was looking at some of our old cruise videos. And I was looking at what I look like then and what I look like now. And not only can you see it in my face, how much weight I've lost, thanks to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. You see it in my torso, because when I'm online all the time and you watch me online, you kind of see me like from the torso up, and my torso is smaller too. When I first went to Coastal Weight Loss Secret, I really didn't realize I had no idea how much weight I had gained. I had no idea. I guess it creeps up on you before you know it. And then all of a sudden you're there, but you see yourself every day in the mirror, and it happens so slowly. And I look at what I look like then and what I look like now. I'm embarrassed at how I used to look. I really am. In particular, on Inauguration Day at Wings Plus, because I had reached my peak weight there. And I wish you guys would delete all those pictures from your phones, okay? And get new pictures with me. Maybe we'll do an appearance in the hallway of the radio station so people can get new pictures. But my face was completely round. I got the definition back. I got my chin back, got my square jaw back, got my neck back. You know, my belly's gone, and I weigh what I weighed when I married my wife, which will be 29 years ago this December. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call, and you can lose weight too. And if you want to lose less than I did or much more, it doesn't matter. It works. It's without effort. I wasn't hungry all day, didn't do any exercise, and took no medications, and ate food I would normally eat. Give them a call. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel. All right? 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. Call us on hold, stand by. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show, back after this. All right, we'll be back shortly, guys. I'll take some more calls after this, and I got some more things to play too, but I'll take some calls first probably. So if you're on hold, hang in there. If you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. Oh, this is great, guys. What's going on here? I mean, we're at a whole new level of excitement. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We're talking about Obama was called out by President Trump yesterday for the coup Obama went on just a panic attack and really showed how guilty he really is. That's what we've been covering. We've only scratched the surface with my show prep. I'm going to take a call or two, and then I'll get into some of the new stories. But those clips from John Solomon are massive. Just if that alone is all they had, people would go to prison. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, hold on one second here. I'm answering all these busy phones. All right, go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Sorry, Chris from Pompano Beach. I just wanted to take it off the speaker.
All right, Chris, what's up?
Yeah, no, great show. I mean, as usual, you're on point. And I don't know, you're always going to have callers that no matter what you do, what truth you say, or what facts you bring, they're going to not want to hear it, not respond to it, and talk about something else that they think is negative.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's been more than 30 years since I talked sense to more than half my family since the 90s, since the Clinton era, because they doubled down on Alinsky, because they knew, outside of Perot coming in, taking votes away from Bush, a Democrat would never see the White House again, because they never have platform, they lie, and I love to play that debate game where they complain about any conservative, and I give them 5 of the same complaints about their favorite Democrat, because that's who they are.
Well, what's going on here, and the Democrats, the few Democrats that are left, it hasn't sunk in yet. This coup treason that Obama was running here, if these people aren't brought to justice, we're not going to be in a free country ever again.
No, that's what they don't get. I explained that yesterday. I said, listen, that's nothing short of socialists and communists, and that's how they all, start out and play their game. That's why I told them I have no respect for anybody now that supports this nonsense, because they knew back then that it was wrong. The only thing is they were told and sold. They chose that side, and they didn't right, wrong, or indifferent. They're like, we don't care. We just want a Democrat in there.
That's right.
They knew it was wrong then. It was a nothing burger.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So,
but this is huge, and Obama's reaction yesterday shows that he's worried. He's worried.
And you remember Vice President, whatever his name is, Biden became president, whatever, how he doubled down on that, how they tried to say Trump's call was bad and trying to impeach him on it. But Biden himself said, hey, if you don't stop investigating my son, my criminal son, we're not going to give you a dime. He bragged about it. We had all those sound bites.
Yeah, that's right.
Yet they were going after Trump's phone call, which was ridiculous. That shows you the unbalanced and bias.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, they all know this, and I'm very disappointed at these Democrats. I think that they say they're not stupid, but
they're stupid.
I understand bias. But when it comes down to this is about America. Next time it's you. Maybe Whoopi herself that doesn't play ball.
That's right.
Gets
That's right.
boycotted.
All right, Chris, you're right. I appreciate the call, and you can hear with the Republican callers. Republicans believe there's going to be justice here, which is so unusual with Republicans. Republicans are like, nobody's ever going to go to jail. You're not hearing that now. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Gary from Coral Springs.
Hey, Gary, what's up?
Hi. I have 2 questions. Number 1, the fact that Comey, Brennan, and Clapper went to see Trump, knowing that everything was made up, what were they trying to accomplish telling him about the story about him and Russia? What did they expect Trump to do? Trump knows he's innocent. He reacted like any innocent man would. He said, "Get out of my office."
Yeah.
That's my. What were they trying to accomplish other than
Extortion. Extortion. You see, usually by the time if someone gets to the level of being president, okay, usually what happens is they're either part of the club their whole life and have been born into it, like Bush and things like that, or they've already been compromised on their way up, like Biden was through his years of corruption in the Senate. And here they had a guy that wasn't on the take, that wasn't part of the club, that wasn't part of the family, and they were in a panic. And they went with that absurd dossier in a state of desperation. It was stupid.
Okay. Well, my second question is, Now that Trump is tipped off what crooks they are and how they're trying to get him, why on day one when he became president, he didn't fire all of them?
What are you talking about, in the first term?
In the first term.
Well, I don't have an answer for that. I mean, he did eventually fire Comey. He replaced Brennan and he replaced Clapper, right?
But
he brought in
how
his own.
long?
He brought in his own people.
Right, but how long did it take him to do it? Knowing
Well,
that these
President
evil,
Trump has
conniving-
talked. I don't know what your point is, but President Trump, he has said that, you know, the campaign went on for about 2 years, and it was nonstop, and then he was president. And he's talked about this a lot. He said in the first term, everything happened so fast. He says, I didn't know who I could trust, who I couldn't trust. So there was a lot of disorganization in that first term because he was new to Washington and didn't know the ways. Now, he spent the last 4 years organizing everything that's going on right now.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
All right. I don't think he really means thank you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name's Brian. I'm calling from Virginia.
All right, Virginia. What's on your mind?
I like that. Well, I just called in here to tell you that I don't think Tulsi Gabbard has any evidence that Obama's committed any treason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you? Oh, slow down a second here. Slow down. What do you mean you don't think she's had evidence? Have you been following the news since Friday?
I sure have, and I've seen her Twitter too, where she made a lot of these allegations.
They're not allegations. They're Obama documents.
Well,
tell me what the documents are showing.
Allegations I'm specifically speaking of are graphics that she posted to her
Okay,
Twitter.
what do you? Oh, you're talking about the meme. What do you believe?
No, I'm speaking
Hold
about
on,
a graphic
hold on. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm asking a question. What allegation is being made against Barack Obama that you don't believe? What's the specific allegation?
Tulsi Gabbard posted on her Twitter that Obama and I believe Biden had created a fake assessment of the election to overturn the results.
Correct. No, not to overturn the results. No, they on December when Trump won. This was done in 2 parts, and she released all of these classified documents, and they're all linked on her X. Okay, what happened was this: when Trump beat Hillary, they were in shock in Washington. They were in shock.
Sir, I know.
Well, not everyone's as informed as you. Listen. I'm talking to. Excuse me. I'm talking to thousands of people, not just you. And not everyone is as informed as you are, so I want people that are listening to know what the allegations are that you're saying aren't true. What the documents she released show is this. After Trump won and they were all shocked, Obama had all of the intelligence agencies do an investigation as to whether there was Russian interference. Every agency, every intelligence agency, every one of them, they did their investigation, said there was no Russian interference. And they all said that, as well as
I never disputed that.
Also they said that Russia didn't have the capability to do it.
Sorry,
I don't care what you called about. I don't care what you called about. I'm speaking.
Do you want to have a conversation, or do you want to just yap at me?
I am telling you what the allegations are that you say aren't true. Then the documents show.
This is pretty one-sided so far.
Well, you've got to stop talking. When I'm done, I'm almost done, and then you can retort. Okay. Then on December 9th, the documents show that Obama had a meeting. It was that he led. It was with Clapper, Comey, Susan Rice, Brennan, Biden, and others, and he ordered them to create a fake intelligence assessment, which they did, showing there was Russian interference, and that led to everything that Trump dealt with in his first term.
I'm saying that Tulsi Gabbard provided no evidence of that fake assessment. She alleged it on her Twitter.
No, the documents are on. No, the documents are there. No. There's a link to all the documents that she turned over to Pam Bondi.
There's a link to all the documents. There's no fake assessment.
Yes, there is. And then Obama, Brennan, Comey, and all the others started doing interviews on television saying there was Russian interference when they knew there wasn't. they started the fake narrative that
There
the
was
media
Russian
picked up
interference.
on.
There was no evidence that Russians had that they had committed a conspiracy, but there was certainly Russian interference.
No, there was not. No, there wasn't.
Association in
No.
St. Petersburg was an organization that Donald Trump had
No, there was
during the
no.
election.
No,
Now, this
every
organization, 2013
agency,
to 2017,
every intelligence
had,
agency
engaged with
said it didn't
millions of
happen.
users on social media pretending to be people
You're calling me. Excuse me. You're calling me from Virginia. Are you part of the deep state?
I'm part of the deep.
You're calling me from. Did you say you're calling from Virginia? Where are you calling from?
I'm from Virginia.
Oh, Pennsylvania. Okay. The caller before you was Virginia. Every intelligence agency's report said there was no Russian interference. Every agency said there was no Russian interference.
There was Russian interference. There were leaks.
Well, if you're not in the deep, how do you know better than all of Obama? You know better than Obama's CIA.
I've been trying to tell you the evidence that this Russian interference.
But you're making crap up. Tulsi Gabbard.
Am I making crap up? No, this is.
No.
This was released in. Oh my gosh.
Tulsi Gabbard released the intelligence reports. You're talking about internet crap. She released the actual classified reports that she declassified.
I'm talking about an investigation done by the government. You can find this on. Gosh, you could probably find this on Wikipedia.
No, my source is not Wikipedia. My source is the Director of National Intelligence. Thank you for the call. Yeah, no, you said go to Wikipedia. Our source are the Obama documents and the Director of National Intelligence. Oh, my goodness. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to talk about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. Now, you guys know he's rid me of pain 7 times. And you know, each of those 7 times, the first time was 3 years ago. Each of those 7 times, the pains have not returned. Isn't that amazing? His laser treatment works. He's rid me of pain 7 times. None of the pains have returned. And it works on every type of pain you've ever heard of, at least that I've heard of. And I'm learning about new pains all the time. I met a couple listeners at Attorney Barry Siegel's on Saturday who are now living a pain-free life thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. We've had listeners fly to Florida from all over the United States to see Dr. Appleton. He's that good. It's worth the trip. You know, with the laser away pain treatment, which Dr. Appleton performs all of himself, he does not use an assistant. Dr. Appleton personally performs all the laser treatments. Isn't that amazing? That's right. There's no shots, no injections, no surgery. It's 100% painless. You don't even feel it as it's happening. Oh yeah, and it works. That's the best part. It works. That's why I've been living pain-free. What would I be like today on the air? I'd be pretty miserable and cranky because I'd be in pain, and I'm completely pain-free, thanks to Dr. Appleton. Also, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. If you have x-rays or scans, bring them with you. Dr. Appleton will be happy to look them over. And if you've been in a car accident, whether you were driving or were a passenger and you have pains from a car accident, go see Dr. Appleton. The laser treatment can help you with that too. Here's his number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. Wikipedia. Sure. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back in just over a minute. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Callers on hold, stand by. Okay, so yesterday, President Trump in the Oval Office with the press conference with the Filipino president said that Obama committed treason. Obama went into a panic and responded, which he never does because he's in a panic. And then last night, the Director of National Intelligence went on Rob Schmidt and made an announcement. This was amazing. This was on Newsmax last night. Now, tomorrow is today. So when she says tomorrow, that means today, Wednesday. Okay, well, so this is huge. So that's today she's releasing this. It's going to happen while I'm on the air. We'll monitor that. So Tulsi, what she has done is such a great timeline. She starts with all the classified documents she declassified that showed every one of Obama's agencies said no Russian interference of any kind. They didn't even have the capability. Then she has the documents of the coup meeting that Obama had on December 9th, where he ordered Brennan and Comey and all the rest to make fake intelligence assessments saying there was Russian interference. And then when you have them all over television talking about the Russian interference that they made up, that they knew did not happen. This is beautiful. And she is handling this in such a way that's it's very smart. She's handling this like a TV person, like in Beats, right? She's telling a story. There's a narrative that she's telling, and one thing leads to the next, and it's a beautiful thing. All right, back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Hank from Hollywood. How you doing?
All right, Hank. What's on your mind?
Well, I'd like to call on Friday because I've got something I'd like to say, but I know it's not Friday. So what I'd like to say is, I use all the Steve Kane Show sponsors, and the sponsors people are great. First sponsor I used was Dr. Gupta, the dentist. Next time I used Friendly Mike, which I saw you there about a year ago. You probably don't remember. You see a lot of people. And I sent my daughter to Friendly Mike, and I went to Friendly Mike. Now, unfortunately, I had to file for divorce a few years ago, and my house was paid off, and I haven't had Citizens Insurance for a while. Citizens Insurance people out of Florida is our hurricane insurance. I didn't need hurricane insurance because my home was paid off. After the divorce, I had to get a mortgage to pay my ex-wife, and now I need Citizens Insurance. Citizens tells me I need a new roof, even though I didn't need a new roof. So what did I do? I called Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. He sent out Scott. Now, I'm not dogging any of Tom's other guys, but Scott is absolutely the best. Maybe Tom's other guys were the best too, but I dealt with Scott. Scott and Scott's crew are the absolute best. They gave me a great price. They did the job when they said they were going to do it. They finished the job when they said they were going to do it. The materials they used, even though I love my old barrel tile, I'm here in East Hollywood. We had the old barrel tile roofs. I loved it. But the new flat tile they put on, absolutely the best. I want to thank Tom. I definitely want to thank Scott, and definitely want to thank Scott's crew. These people are number one, and I just want your listeners to know, Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing, if you need a new roof, even if you don't, like I didn't even need one, but Citizens said I did, call Tom at Tom Laporta Roofing. You're not going to go wrong. You're not going to be disappointed. And like I said, I know it's not Friday, so I don't have anything else to.
No, that's great. No, I was just letting you go because go on without me interrupting because you're going to be in the new Tom Laporta commercial. So I didn't want to interrupt you while you were on a flow.
Tom Laporta deserves a commercial with testimonial.
You know,
really does,
I gotta tell you.
People are great.
I gotta tell you this, okay? This is the only program where our listeners do spots. You know, we got a new one that just started today for Attorney Barry Siegel, and this will be a new commercial. And I do appreciate it. Let me give out Tom Laporta's number. Again, this rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602. You can call or text Tom or go to his website, laportaroofing.com. But his cell phone's not on his website. That's only for you guys in our audience. Well, I really appreciate that and glad you got a good roof and a great job from Laporta Roofing.
Oh, it's better than a good roof. It's a great roof, and I thank you guys for turning me on to Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Had no idea that was totally unsolicited. I had no idea. Oh, man. All right. Let's go back to the phones. You just heard the new Tom Laporta recorded commercial. That's going to be a good one. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, well, they chickened out. I get it. Well, listen, we're coming up on the top of the hour. But when we get back, I've got more to share. There were so many developments yesterday in this Obama coup. I mean, a ton. And I've been going through them all morning, but I've only gotten to the tip of the iceberg of my show prep today. So after the top of the hour, I'm going to get into some more. I'll do a quick recap, but I'll get into some more of what I've got to share with you today. This is not an exaggeration. This Obama coup against President Trump in his first term is not only the biggest political scandal in our country's history, but people are actually going to go to jail for this that have D's next to their names. That's how bad it is. And if you've noticed, the defenders haven't been doing too much defending because what Obama did here is indefensible because you have these documents that Tulsi Gabbard's declassified. And then you have their own words on all these TV interviews. Obama even had a press conference. So it's very difficult for them to defend what is documented with Obama's very own documents from his very own administration. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. My name is Brian Craig. Our number is toll free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening. And those of you on hold, stand by. We will get back to the phones after this top of the hour break. Okay, we'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes, we'll be back. Oh, man. What a great day. What a great day. We'll be back in about a minute. Yeah, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. Welcome back. The third hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm going to take a call or two, then I'm going to get to some of the news stories with people that have been hanging on since the last hour. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Richie.
It's Richie. Yeah, grab your popcorn because this is just starting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is the deal, Brian. What's happening now is exactly why, and I'm going to go down the list. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, George Bush, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden didn't want President Trump anywhere near the White House because he was going to expose their little club and what they've been doing to the American people, and that includes Republicans up in Congress and the Senate for the last 50 years in this country. In other words, he interrupted the main thing, the cash cow, and he he's exposing all of this. The question I got to ask you and anybody who's defending Barack Obama: what did Barack Obama do as president to help anybody in this country?
Well, yeah, but you look at this conspiracy, and people, I know it seems crazy that Obama went to such extremes, but I don't think people fully realize the panic through Washington for the first time ever to have a president of the United States that wasn't under their control, and that scared him.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, because look at what he just did. What he just did with USAID and public radio and television, all these things. These are the things that had them in a panic.
And the press, by the way, with the getting the access to the White House, have gone along with all of this crap because they were part of the in crowd, and Trump is not. I mean, so the whole thing is that, believe it or not, when Trump said, "I'm with you and we're against them," he was 100% right. President Trump was actually attacked. How many times sued? He sues people when things go bad, so he knows the law, all right? You think he would have come out yesterday and accused Barack Obama the way he did? This was history.
Yeah.
Because he knows that
he knows.
he's telling the truth. If he's going to be sued. And he knows the consequences. He went out there because he's got the facts behind him. These people that are calling up and they're saying, "What proof do you have? What proof do you have?" I understand.
And if you watch the press conference live yesterday, the reporters didn't ask Trump any follow-up questions about the treason comments, and the reason they didn't, I don't think, was because of their liberal bias, because there were some conservatives in there too. I think they're afraid of Obama, and they're afraid of Obama and Brennan and Comey. That's why the press didn't do follow-ups.
Yeah, you've used this analogy in the past. These people that are defending Barack Obama, and they can't believe that their great hope ended up like this. That's like the guy that somebody whispers, "Guess what? Your wife is cheating on you." No, she's not. I love my wife. She's the greatest in the world. You go home and you catch her. You catch her actually with somebody else, and then the guy, they're just taking a nap together. Nothing's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's obvious. They're asking where the evidence is. It's the secret. It's the classified documents that never were supposed to be unclassified.
Yeah.
And they never would have been if Trump didn't get in.
And
there.
remember,
So
these were classified at a level higher than top secret. That's yeah.
She's got more. She's got more. She's gonna not just
today.
She's gonna more next week.
Yeah.
More today and more next week.
Yeah.
There is big dudes.
She's doing Tulsi Gabbard is doing this in a very coordinated way, making a case along the way for what they did, and it's going to get. And when she's done, the last bit of documents, that'll be the big one.
I got to ask you a question. What do we do when he won't go in for the subpoena because they said that President Trump didn't go on January 6th?
They arrested President Trump 3 times. 3 times. I'm not worried about the congressional subpoena. Congress is where things go to not happen. I appreciate the call, Richie. So let me give you, if you're on hold, stand by. So President Trump says that Barack Obama committed treason. He was the ringleader. This was in the Oval Office yesterday. Right after that, Obama released a statement, which he never does. Listen, this is Obama's statement after President Trump said he was the ringleader of this treason. Okay, so this got really crazy yesterday. So Obama puts, that was a lady reading the tweet, the press release. So Obama makes that ridiculous statement. And this all happened it was amazing. This was in real time. And I was doing a live podcast yesterday afternoon, and this was happening live while I was on the air yesterday afternoon. So Obama releases that statement. Tulsi Gabbard just so happens to be on Fox News as this happens, being interviewed on Fox News by the president's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump. And so Trump said Obama committed treason. He was the ringleader. Obama immediately responds with this nonsense. And then in real time, Tulsi Gabbard responds as being interviewed by Lara Trump on Fox Live. This was so exciting yesterday because justice is going to be done. Here's Tulsi with Lara Trump. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. This all happened in real time. Trump, then Obama, and then Tulsi. This is just amazing at the speed that this story is developing, and her having all the documents. She said the documents that are coming out today are going to make Obama look really bad. You notice Obama didn't say that meeting never happened. By the way, never said it didn't happen. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, hey, Brian. It's Milo from Cuyahoga Falls.
Hey.
I'm scared. All right, so I'm going to give the assessment of what's going on with Tulsi Gabbard. And, well, first thing I want to say is everyone should just take a deep breath, trust Trump, and just go about your daily business. But what Tulsi Gabbard is basically saying is that Russia didn't have the capabilities or intent to physically go in and alter the election, okay? The reason why they got the Trump put sanctions on them is because they were spending like $20 million on Facebook ads of knowingly putting out, bogus information. So there's two separate
Hold
things.
on. Facebook ads, no, they're not talking. I don't hear Obama and Clapper talking about Facebook ads.
No, because that's not what it's about. They weren't in trouble for that. Russia did that. They don't have the capabilities that they're saying to actually.
Okay, so what's your point? I'm up against the break, so you got to tell me what your point is.
Because originally people were because there's sanctions against Russia for interfering with our election. It's just not from being involved in trying to change.
Are you kidding me? I mean, look. You look at MSNBC and CNN and the networks. When they promoted this Russian interference lie for years against President Trump that led to impeachments and everything else, the Mueller investigation and everything in between.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to talk about misinformation, the misinformation came from Obama, Clapper, Comey, CNN, and I got to run for the break. If you're on hold, hang in there. See how desperate that. This is this old story. It just came up for the first time today from a caller in the first hour that the Russians were running Facebook ads. That's what they're calling. Oh no, Obama didn't lie, Brennan didn't lie, Comey didn't lie. They were really talking about some Facebook ads. Really? Are you kidding me? Were they trying to sell a bicycle in the Facebook marketplace too? Is that going to be the defense in the federal courtroom against treason charges? That's exactly right. Now, I want to tell you about the free doorbell camera offer from Sloman. Just a great deal. You can get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. But that's not all you're going to get. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. Sloman's is going to give you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for your doors and windows, a lifetime warranty, a backup battery, plus you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call no matter where you are located. By the way, this makes a great gift for mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, or your adult kids living on their own. And you can have this at an office, you can have this at an apartment building. This is part of our security system at the radio station. We've got the doorbell camera. The number is 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this. We'll be back in just over a minute, guys. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'll take some more calls when we get back. But man, I've covered a lot today, so. I think the biggest news drop was John Solomon. That's huge stuff from Solomon. That's the newest big stuff. We'll be back in 1 minute. 1 minute. Mm-hmm. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Callers on hold, stand by. There has just been so much breaking. You know, out of everything I've covered today, I think the biggest developments today are John Solomon. And I'll probably recap those later, but there's a huge... Let's take some calls, though. I've covered a lot. You're welcome to call in about anything I brought up in the last almost 2.5 hours. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Jerome from California. How's it going, Brian?
All right, Jerome, what's up?
I'm just wondering how much you're crying about your Obama derangement syndrome today. Just seeing how you're still on about Tulsi. Gonna once again, it's this good old story of we're gonna expose everything, and it's gonna drag on for 5 years and nothing comes of it.
Well, you can hope for that, but that's not what's happening. Things are happening fast, and just calling and saying you have Obama derangement syndrome isn't a response.
You do. You do.
John Solomon.
You do.
John Solomon dropped major stories, including one that the Biden White House. None of it matters. If it doesn't matter, why are you calling? If it doesn't matter, why are you? If it doesn't matter, why are you calling me? If none of this matters, why are you taking?
You guys like this little wormhole, this echo chamber that you lie to each other because you're all like.
No, what you're trying to do is spread. All right, I appreciate the call. What you're trying to do is spread propaganda and get us off of this. I mean, the guy didn't respond to one point. I've been on the air 2 hours and 22 minutes, and I've brought up, I don't know, a dozen major developments in this story, and all he can say is it doesn't matter. He didn't specifically address any of them. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
That last caller was, I think he was driving that cracked out clown car that Carville
Maybe.
was
Yeah.
talking about.
Maybe.
Mr. Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Pennywise, yeah.
Look, this friggin' Russia Facebook stuff is driving me crazy.
I know. Give me a break.
I remember this back I saw testimony on Capitol Hill. I remember it vividly because I was so pissed off about all this stuff. From 2020 with the election being stolen. But I remember the testimony was that somebody spent like $4,000 on a Facebook ad that was pathetic and didn't mean a hell of beans. And it wasn't the friggin' government of Russia. It was some, moonbat. I mean, they've got crazy people in Russia too that spend some money to do something like that.
It's been a long time. So I'm sure we'll get there. They're moving into this, so we'll learn more about it. But it's been a long time. But it could have been someone using a VPN on a server in Russia, right? It doesn't mean they were actual Russians. It could have been some guy in Palm Beach on a VPN.
It's not like the FBI was in a hurry to really look into anything. I mean, from everything we're seeing, they were just. No treason. We don't want.
And I remember when the Russian Facebook ad nonsense was going around, I would ask Democrats what I asked them today. Can you share with me the Facebook ad that changed people who were against Trump into Trump supporters? Because, if somebody can advertise a message like that, I want to learn from that, because I'm in the advertising business, if you haven't noticed. And if somebody can do that, I want to learn from them. I want to see that ad that turned Democrats into MAGA people on Facebook.
$4,000,
Yeah.
$5,000 ad that goes up against, $1 billion in a political campaign. It was just so pathetic. And to hear people now talking about it, it just,
it's weak.
And that it's not evidence. Somebody was saying that this is, this is factual documents from the government, evidence, their fingerprints, their signatures. This is like having a video of a bank robbery with the person's face, like, 4K, high definition picture of the person.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's just a matter of, to me now, there are definitely people that are going to go to prison. Now, I don't know exactly who, and I don't know if we'll see some.
Listen, I know this, though. Barack Obama is terrified by... two things happened with Obama yesterday. After Trump's press conference, he released a statement, which was a panicked, stupid statement, Obama. And then last night, all these videos of Trump at Fashion Week with Melania, and Epstein was there, were all over the place. So they tried this weak, poor man psyop to try to connect Trump to Epstein again last night, to try to get a diversion going on from the truth of the story.
Yeah, no, for these guys, I mean, listen, they had no fear. It's their arrogance. They're sort of like, I mean, they're kind of like they're kind of like wolves in the that are dressed like foxes in the hen house.
Yeah.
And they fear no predator because there's nobody above them.
Correct.
But they didn't count on Trump. They didn't count on the lion coming
They
in
thought
to show them
they
who the hell is ruling the jungle.
Hey, but I appreciate the call. They thought they were going to be successful, and so they didn't bother covering their tracks, maybe. I don't know. I'm very interested to find out why they documented everything. We really don't know. We're speculating on that, but it's insane. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Rick from Boca Raton.
Yeah, Rick.
Hey, how's it going, Brian?
Hi.
So, what do you think is going to come of all this with Tulsi in reality?
People are going to go to prison. There's going to be arrest. This is big.
Just like the Epstein list?
No, that's a different thing.
No? So what's the difference?
So you called me. You called me yesterday, right? Yeah, you called me yesterday.
Yeah, this is Rick from.
And I don't know why you didn't. I don't know why you bothered calling and talking. Why don't you just play the tape into the phone? Because you said word for word. You said yesterday. I mean, what do you probably want a cracker? Do you know? There's been a lot of developments. Excuse me. There's been a lot of development.
You really are just.
All right, I appreciate the call. You're up. Hold on. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Dave from Detroit. And Obama's not scared. He's laughing at you, retard. Especially that big retard in the White House with the fake shootings and all the fakeness.
Oh, okay. President Trump wasn't shot now. That's what you got. President Trump wasn't shot. Yeah. Is the firefighter dead? Were the people in the crowd shot?
Trump wasn't shot.
Were the people in the stand shot? Is Corey the firefighter really dead? Oh my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Well, hold on. Let me take one more call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, you retard, you know.
Okay, all right. We'll take another one. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm John calling from Cocoa Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Just wondering, got on my computer right in front of me the U.S. Senate and Select Committee on Intelligence. Marco Rubio, who is Trump's Secretary of State, his statement on the Senate Intel release of Volume 5, a bipartisan Russian report, says that there was Russian interference.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could explain to me how Tulsi Gabbard says that Obama's doing it, but Marco Rubio and the U.S. Select Committee on Intelligence says that Russia was doing it, who are we to believe?
Okay, this is something that's circulating around. Somebody called me with it yesterday, and I'm going to tell you what I told them, and this is the truth of the matter. That committee with Marco Rubio, their assessment and conclusions were based on the false intelligence reports and such that were created by the Obama administration. They didn't have access to everything like they have now. These documents that Tulsi Gabbard is declassifying were classified higher than top secret. So they came to a conclusion.
I thought only a president had the power to declassify documents.
She's the director.
How can she declassify?
She is the director of national intelligence who's working at the will of the president, who's doing the work of the president. So she has his approval. They're working together on this.
Isn't there a process that they have to go through?
No, the president can declassify anything. There's no process. He can just say it's declassified.
So he snaps his fingers and
Correct.
he's like, oh, declassified, no problem?
That's right.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And I guess.
But you're moving on. But hold on. You brought up this Marco Rubio thing. I know you want to move on and talk about 12 other things. They based those conclusions because they did not know that those intelligence assessments were fake. They had no way to know.
An intelligence committee, the U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence didn't know that they were fake.
How do you know? They were actually created. Excuse me. They were actually created. Excuse me. They were created by.
A better name for your show would be the Delusions of Brian Craig Show.
Well, that's a good name. That's a good name. Trademark
Yeah,
it.
it is.
Trademark it.
Delusions of Brian
The
Craig.
fake.
Steve Kane's never on the show anyway.
The fake.
Have a great day.
Are you going to run away like a little girl? Yep, he hung up. He hung up. Because what happens with these liberals, they don't want to hear anything that contradicts their delusions. When somebody's living in a delusion, they don't want to be pulled out of it. All right, listen, I want to talk, though, about Joe Thomas. I've been telling you about him for quite some time about annuities, but annuities is the only investment that I know of that guarantees you a revenue stream your entire life. There's a lot of other things out there, 401ks, savings account, maybe an account with your broker. But only annuities is your money safe with no matter the fluctuations of the market, meaning you're not going to lose money and you're going to have a revenue stream guaranteed for the rest of your life. Give them a call. Now, listen, Joe Thomas is offering free phone consultations, which you can take advantage of no matter where you're located in the United States. After that consultation, Joe Thomas is going to put together a custom proposal just for you based on your situation, your goals, and your needs, all right? It is a custom proposal just for you. Give him a call and take advantage of this no-charge consultation. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, JupiterJoe.com. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, everyone. It's the Steve Kane Show, Wednesday morning already. Call us on hold, stand by. If you'd like to share your thoughts on this, our number 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. You know, this is the third day that we've talked about this coup of Obama's on the program. Third day. Because of, you know, the documents were released by Tulsi Gabbard on Friday. We have heard from so many Democrats, mostly men, if you noticed, all week long. Every single one of them has not once addressed any of the allegations. Have you noticed that? And every single one of them has been at a different level of, I don't know, psychological dysfunction. Some are angry, some are calling names, some hang up and run away like little girls, some get hysterical, some use profanity, some scream, but not one of them has talked about any specific of the issues. And you notice not one of them has mentioned Epstein today because they know that's not working. And, you know, I was talking earlier, they've got two things that they're trying to go with other than Epstein that aren't working. One is what the little girl that I just talked to before the bottom of the hour break called in with. Well, the Senate committee said that there was. The Senate committee, they based their conclusions on the faulty intelligence that Obama had the CIA, FBI, and other agencies craft. They did not know that was, how would they know it was fake? They hid the real reports and released this as their reports. It was a perfect counterfeit because it was counterfeited by the actual agencies, right? Like say, you know, counterfeiters get busted when they counterfeit money. But if the U.S. Treasury was printing their own money, some people over there, would you know it was counterfeit? Of course you wouldn't. How would you tell? It was made off the same printers. So that one doesn't fly. The other one is, well, Tulsi Gabbard was wrong. She said that Iran didn't have a nuclear weapon. No one said that Iran had a nuclear weapon. No one said that. In fact, they all said they didn't. And I played this at the top of the hour at the 7 o'clock, after the 7 o'clock break. So if you missed that part of the show, you can rewind and catch it on the different platforms. Tulsi Gabbard, which this release of Tulsi Gabbard's, and I can't wait for the new release today. They haven't even been able to respond to the first release. Now we're getting a second release, and this isn't even the last release. This isn't even the middle of the releases. There's a lot of releases coming, and she's doing everything in a narrative. So she knows exactly what she's doing. She's coordinating with the president, and I can tell because President Trump understands how media operates, and he's having her release these things in beats. And the way it happens when you're doing you've heard me talk about this before, when you're doing a big news release. James O'Keefe is a master of this. You start off with something big and shocking to get everybody's attention, which is what she did on Friday. And then you release other things that are important and interesting that back up that first thing, but you build, and you save the big one for last or next to last. And then at the final thing is everyone discussing everything. That's how it works. That's how you release things in a news cycle in beats. And that's what Tulsi is doing. But this other thing, got to understand, Brennan and Obama and all these people have known for weeks this was coming because they have people that are loyal to them that still work in the agencies, and they tipped them off that Tulsi Gabbard was going to be releasing all these documents, and they made a move a few weeks back to try to discredit her. And that was over the Iran thing. They remember they asked President Trump. I played this exchange earlier, but I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to tell you. They asked President Trump on the tarmac next to Air Force One. Well, one member of your cabinet has said, even though she's not really in the cabinet, she works for the administration, but that's a technicality. One member of your cabinet has said that they don't have a nuclear weapon, and he said, well, they're wrong. They asked him about that twice, right? She never said what they say that she said to discredit her. I had 2 or 3 calls yesterday. No one brought this up today because I shared the audio earlier. Well, how can you trust Tulsi? She was wrong about Iran. she didn't say no one said, Marco Rubio, President Trump, no one said they had a nuclear weapon. What she said was they're enriching uranium at levels to weaponize a nuclear device, which is what Marco Rubio said. It's what President Trump said. It's what Netanyahu and everyone else said. But they're lying about what she said about that to try to discredit her. And they did this a few weeks ago knowing this was happening. All of this Epstein stuff that started coming up a couple weeks ago came up because it was a psyop because they knew this was coming. And they had some success with that because and we got to see who's really on the inside of MAGA world, right? All these conservative MAGA influencers didn't know what was coming with Tulsi Gabbard. So they're not really as much on the inside as they want you to think, a lot of them. But the Epstein story, the question about Tulsi and the nuclear capabilities of Iran, the Trump, all of this was in anticipation of these releases, and they were trying to do a distraction like they did with Russia. But everyone's woken up and seen the wizard behind the curtain now. You know, when they shot Trump and Butler, the country was completely red-pilled, and they don't have any juice anymore. And as this continues, they're going to have more and more trouble. Because first you've got their own documents, and then they were all on television talking about it endlessly. So you have the meeting that's documented. We have the fake documents. And then you have all these television appearances that they all did on different media sources for years, including Obama, who had a press conference on this after the initial meeting. Okay, so to try to defend what they did, it's just not, it's not defensible by anyone because of the documents. You know, like in the, O.J. Simpson and George Zimmerman got away with murder because there was no video or anything of them doing the murders, so they got away with it. I know it's a little more complicated than that. But with this Obama coup, we have everything. It is well documented. I'll tell you another thing that's well documented. That's my miraculous weight loss. I've lost over 35 pounds. My goal was 25. And I wanted to lose 25 before our cruise. And I remember I was talking to Dr. Zuckerman over Coastal Weight Loss. He said, well, when's the cruise? I said, it's in a month. He said, no problem. I said, 25 pounds in a month? I don't know. I lost the 25 pounds in the first 3 weeks. Isn't that something? And I wanted to do it in a month. I lost it in 3 weeks. And I kept going. And those of you that were on the cruise, you noticed I was eating the same things you were eating. And did you see me in the gym on the ship? Heck no. You're going to see me in the gym. It is on the way to the sauna. Maybe on the way to the sauna, but you're not going to see me on any exercise equipment, I'll tell you that. So I lost over 35 pounds, eating foods I would normally eat without any exercise or prescription medication like Ozempic. It's absolutely amazing. It works. I look great. I feel great. And I know a lot of you are looking great and feeling great too, because so many of you have gone to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. And no matter where you're located in the United States, they can help you. We've had listeners from all over America call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I'm going to give you the number in a moment. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel. A lot of couples have been going in too. Here's the number, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightloss.secret.com. We'll be right back. Hey there, hold on. All right. We are back, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
Metals looking good, Brian. We had a nice rally again yesterday, pushing gold back up well over $3,400, trading in a range yesterday of $3,382 on the low to $3,434 on the high, and closing out today up $34.70 at $3,430.40 the ounce. Silver was up 37 cents at $39.23. Platinum gained $2 at $1,441. And palladium was up $16 at $12.76. Overnight, we see gold trading in a range of $34.15 all the way up to $34.37. And right now we're at $34.24. That's down $6.40 after yesterday's big rally. And silver up 12 cents right now at $39.35 the ounce, while platinum is down $16 at $14.25. And palladium is down $13 at $1,263 the ounce. So the metals are still trading in a firm range, but gold and silver looking like they want to possibly break out to the upside and possibly get to new highs before this month is over with.
That's right. And remember, at William Youngerman's, everything is available for immediate delivery, and you can also do all of your transactions over the phone and through the mail, no matter where you're located. William Youngerman's address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can give them a call toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. And you can find both his phone number and address on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take care, take care. All right, we're back. Now, the biggest revelations that I covered today, I want to mention this again. There were two of them, both from John Solomon. And the guy to follow on this story is John Solomon. He's with Real America's Voice. He is incredible. And I'm calling him the Woodward and Bernstein of this story because everyone's giving him this information. And his online news source is called Just the News. Check it out, okay? And he's the one that told us, it'll be 2 weeks Friday, okay, that there was something big coming going back 10 years on the lawfare. And this was it. And last night on his program, he dropped two big things. And he had the emails and memos and documents just like Tulsi Gabbard. One was a document showing that Biden's White House lawyer, the White House counsel, was coordinating with Jack Smith, the prosecutor that broke into Mar-a-Lago, the J6 case, was coordinating with him and gave him Trump's classified presidential phones. That's illegal. And that fits in, I was talking about, this is very important, Fannie Willis, her boyfriend, traveled to D.C. and met with the White House counsel. So now we're seeing that the lawfare was being run directly by the Otto-Pen Biden White House against the man who they knew was going to be the nominee, Donald Trump. That alone could send people to prison. Then John Solomon also had another document about the laptop from hell signatures. Remember the 51 intelligence agencies? Biden's sitting CIA director communicating with others to get them to sign off on the document, specifically saying so that the president, that would be Biden, has a talking point in the debate with Trump. This, and on top of everything else that is coming out, this is massive. And it's breaking nonstop in real time. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Vivi from Central Florida.
Hey.
About your liberal callers.
Yes.
They're going to have a hard time to realize that their idol is a monster.
Obama.
And it's Obama. That he is a monster. That man is horrible. So they're going to have a very hard time accepting that because they can't accept anything factual. Everything that you've been saying is factual, what Tulsi Gabbard is presenting, and they can't accept that. So they're having a hard time.
Well, and that everything is is documented by the bad guys. That's what makes this such open. And a lot of people, oh, nothing's going to happen. It's so, and if you notice, we got the seminar callers calling in and all this stuff. They're targeting us. That's fine. It's ironclad because they documented, for some reason, their crimes. I don't know who does that.
Exactly. It's unbelievable. It's, for me, I kind of find it sad, but actually comical, because they're having a hard time.
Well, listen, I remember when O.J. Simpson killed Ron and Nicole. I was a lot younger then, guys, okay? I was in my early 20s, but I remember I was in a bar in Fort Lauderdale watching the Bronco chase, and I still couldn't believe he did it, because I grew up on O.J. Simpson, and I like, and he was so funny in Naked Gun, and he made that movie about the fake Mars landing and all that stuff, Capricorn One, I couldn't believe but then when the pretrial hearing started, the evidence came in, I realized that this iconic figure was guilty of murder. Well, that's what's happening to these people with Obama. This is Kash Patel and Tulsi and Dan Bongino. This is not the findings of an investigation. These are the actual documents from Obama's office, Brennan, Comey's office, and all of them. Open and shut.
Exactly.
All right, appreciate the call. So the next piece to this, and I got to tell you, I don't know how President Trump in the last 4 years had time to organize all this stuff. When they were shooting him and the lawfare, they had him in court all the time, but he still organized all this stuff. So after they did everything, then they started using the media to get their fake Russian narrative. And let me play some of this. This is a montage that someone put together. They got CNN and all the rest to take this false report that they crafted, that they totally made up from this Oval Office meeting of Obama's, and then they got the media talking about it as if it was real to sell it to the American people. And you remember Goebbels, repeat a lie often enough, people will believe it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
If we find out that Donald Trump just theoretically was colluding with Russia while they were hacking the election, that is completely impeachable. His dossier alleged a conspiracy between the Trump campaign and the Russian effort to hack the election. The director of national intelligence, the head of the National Security Agency, the head of the FBI, all of these intelligence experts saying Russia hacked the election. The FBI say that NSA, the director of national intelligence, James Clapper, they've all said this. So to believe that that's wrong, you have to believe they're all involved in an elaborate conspiracy to get Donald Trump, which seems a little far-fetched.
Okay, so that's like one of those old Rush Limbaugh montages, isn't it, from the media? Remember when Rush used to do that? He kind of originated that. Now others are doing it. I mean, and that's how they sold the lie. And I'll tell you another thing. Vindman was in on this. I'm telling you, Vindman was in. Remember Vindman with the phone call with Zelensky, reported Trump to the Inspector General, and that got a impeachment of the president? All of these things all came from that first meeting on December 9th with Obama and this fake intelligence report that he had all of the agencies craft. This is, and with the incoherence of the liberals that have been calling the last 3 days on the program, every single conservative in the audience is behind this. I have never seen conservatives say there would be arrest, that there will be justice. Conservatives are always the doomsayers. You hear me talk about this a lot. I get very frustrated. But conservatives are now saying, hey, no, things are going to happen here. And they're going to happen because we have physical evidence, oftentimes with the criminal signature on them. This is unprecedented. Now, today, Tulsi is going to be releasing a whole bunch of new documents. I'm looking forward to that. We'll be covering that. We'll be talking about that tomorrow. This week is flying by, and things have been developing in real time every single day, and it's really amazing. But the places to watch is follow Tulsi on X and look for John Solomon on Real America's Voice, and you'll get everything, because that's where the information's coming from. Everybody else is just talking about what they're releasing. Now, before we go, I want to tell you one last time today about the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. My wife and I have been sleeping on our mattress topper for years. You know, it's 3-layered. It turns your bed into a big MyPillow. It comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. The cover is completely machine washable and dryable. And it's made with that same material as the MyPillow 2.0 that has the temperature regulating technology. This has been a hot summer, hasn't it? It keeps you cool and comfortable all summer long. It's almost like having air conditioning in your bed. And in the winter, that temperature regulating technology in a 3-inch mattress topper keeps you warm and toasty all night long. It is good too. We've had ours for, 3 years, 4 years. If you have a lumpy, bumpy mattress, an uneven mattress, or some old mattress that just sucks, don't go out and spend all that money on a new mattress. New mattresses are expensive. There's a huge discount on the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It also comes in every mattress size, from twin all the way up to California King, Split King, and every size in between, including the RV sizes and the sizes that truck drivers have. It also makes a great addition on your guest beds. It makes a great addition to that sleeper sofa. Those mattresses are always awful, but you put that mattress topper on there, it's like having a beautiful, comfortable mattress. So go to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, for huge discounts. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, well, that's another one in the can. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. covering the latest developments. You know, it's insane that we're talking about Obama, that he's back in the news. I'm really in shock that we're talking about. I remember when Obama left, and it was Trump's first term, I was so excited. I talked about this on the air. We're not going to have to talk about Obama anymore. It's over. You know, I figured, every once in a while something would come up, like this weirdo podcast that his wife's doing with her weirdo brother. But I never thought we'd be talking about him. And here we are 2 days in a row, because Obama has been running a secret, shadow, illegal government in exile, undermining President Trump's first term, running the last 4 years illegally. We know this. And they've been exposed finally. An 8-year shadow government that he's been running. And yeah, Pence was probably in on it with him. Absolutely. All right, guys, if you're on hold, my apologies. If you stay on hold, you'll be first in line tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. See you tomorrow, 6 o'clock. All right, we're clear. Hey, guys, thanks for joining. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, do me the favor of liking the video and sharing on your socials if you don't mind. That helps a lot, okay? All right, guys, take care. I'll see you later. Thanks.